Lisa, how did you find Carnivore?
Well, this is kind of a long story, as I said. Um, I've been insulin resistant for I think most of my life, at least from when I got into puberty. So I've always had maybe not an issue with weight because I've never been, well, when I was young, I was ever overweight, really, like fat, like I was when I was, yeah, a while ago. Uh, but I could never lose weight, not even like a gram, not even a kilo, no matter how much I tried. And I got my period really late compared to my peers. I never had a regular period. So this is going to be a lot about infertility and stuff, just warning, TMI maybe. But, and when I was I think maybe 20, 21, something like that, I was going to do a surgery and I had to lose some weight in that. And he told me I needed to lose 2 kilos because I weighed I think 72 kilograms at the time. And I'm a 171 uh, centimeters. Yeah. So I was going to lose 2 kilograms. And then he didn't like my attitude. So he said 4, which is really weird because at the time, at this time, I was working on the cruise ship between Holland and England, and had a really really bad diet. I think it was cigarettes, coffee, Coca-Cola, and Burger King. I think that was about it, and maybe some chocolate buns or something. And so I said, yeah, yeah, when I was at this doctor's office, yeah, okay, I will try to lose some weight. I just have to eat better. And he's like, no, 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 no. You just move more and eat less. Uh, So I told him, seriously, I have a really bad diet, so I think I just have to change it. No, no, because of your attitude, you have to go down to 68 instead of 70. So I was like, oh, and I really wanted this surgery. So yeah, so I went home and tried. So I stopped eating, and at one point I actually considered, yeah, but I stopped myself. I was like, oh my god, if I do this, I probably won't be able to stop because I know people who have had this issue. So I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I'd rather not have the surgery and don't do that because I know this is a lifelong, or could be potentially a lifelong issue for me. So I was like, no, I won't do that. And I ended up not losing any weight at all. But since I live in Sweden, I got this paid for. So and this was a private surgeon. So he probably wanted the money, I guess. So I got the surgery anyway, even though I didn't lose the weight. So yay for me. And uh, and I had no real issues. Yeah, well, I did. In retrospect, I had issues, but I didn't really understand why. So I had eczemas all over my body. As soon as I went out in the sun, I had itching, and this is like my early 20s, something like that. Itching. I had extreme rosacea. You can't see it today, maybe, but I still have a little bit left. But I looked like I took stinging nettles and just washed my face with it. I was completely red and swollen and all of this, and eczema in my scalp as well. And I never really understood why. I thought it might be like using the wrong shampoo, or maybe I don't know, um, something with perfume or whatever, or maybe it was just allergies because I didn't really connect autoimmunity with diet at all. And I was still on my really nice diet of Coca-Cola, cigarettes, and coffee, and working night shift. So it was a lot of coffee, a lot. And um, and then I got older. I still worked night shifts, and I met my husband, and we wanted to, start a family and stuff. So and then I had an issue when I was I don't know, I don't know exactly, but it's 30-ish, maybe just before, where I had a really, really long period of 5 months. It didn't stop. So, and I don't like doctors, so I hadn't gone before with these issues of irregular periods, which is not good, and stuff like this, because maybe I'm, sticking my head in the sand a little bit too much, where don't I don't want to know what's wrong, because then I can ignore it. But I had this issue anyway, and we were going on a vacation. So I went to my OBGYN and asked her, so what's happening? And she thought maybe I had a miscarriage. But she also realized I have PCOS. So yeah, so and I asked, I don't know what's PCOS. I've never heard of it, because this was the first time anyone told me. And she was really rude, because she started off like, "Oh, you haven't been in a couple of years, and to see your OBGYN, you probably just ignored it, and you're a bad person," sort of. So she wasn't really my favorite person at the time, but so she told me, yeah, it's your body produces too much testosterone. I was like, okay. So, so what this mean? No, we should put you on the pill, she said. And I said, but I'm trying to get pregnant. We're trying to start a family here. And so she's like, oh, well, sucks to be you. That was about it. She didn't say that exactly, but that was like the what I got from her reaction. Um, so I was like, okay. Um, so we started, but she said, also told me, because I had gained a lot of weight during this time. From the first time I gained, I don't know, like 10, 15 kilos or something, because in part because I worked night shift, in part because I was not out dancing every night as I was when I was younger, and I started driving to work, and I was sitting down at work and stuff like that. So I didn't move as much, irregular sleeping patterns and stuff like that. And I never got out in the sun either. But yeah, anyway, so she told me you have to lose some weight. So I thought, okay, I will try to lose some weight. And I started counting calories, and it did not work at all. And I started, um, I think, Weight Watchers, and it did not work at all. And did for a while, yeah, because in this time I was starting university, so I started studying, and in this university was a lot of vegetarians and vegans. So I thought maybe, yeah, but it sounds good, calories. It's easier to control your calories with vegetables than it is with other stuff, and especially if it's junk food. And so I tried that, and it wasn't bad. I mean, it tasted good. At I like the taste, because I really like vegetables. I like the taste. I like the crunchiness and stuff like that. But um, it didn't help. My energy levels just plummeted, and I had hard time concentrating and stuff. And then, the shakes was even worse than before. And see here, yeah. So anyway, there was a lot of stuff going on at the same time. So we ended up going to a private hospital for infertility treatments. And I knew I had PCOS, but I tried to Google it, stuff like that. Um, but I couldn't really find anything. So this must have been like 10 years ago, something like that. So like I think maybe 2014 or something, in that vicinity. Yeah. So, and they told me also that when I talked to the doctors, is there anything I can do with diet, to help my infertility? And he's like, no, not really. You should lose some weight. And I was like, okay, but what about if I go vegan, or maybe, like, because I've seen somewhere that you could, some sort of low carb stuff. It's really strange, where you just ate fats. I mean, everybody knows it's bad for you, right? So, and he said, well, some people has had, been lucky with a low carb diet. So I thought, well, okay, I've tried everything else, so I'll try that. And it was a lot of cheese, a lot of heavy cream, and a lot of broccoli. Said nothing about meat whatsoever. Nothing. Just keep your carbs low, or So yeah, was not my thing at all. I thought because I felt bad and I was bloated and I didn't really. I think I did it for like a couple of months. Didn't stick. So I tried working out, but since I had really low energy, it's like, yeah, I can push myself like once or twice, maybe 3 times, but then I never got to routine, so I didn't do that either. And then, well, we did this IVF thing, and at this time once we, tried everything with the metformin. Yeah, I got metformin as well, and everything. We made it. So two insertions, and I was pregnant. So that was really yeah, that was wonderful. It was one of the happiest days of my life. So I got pregnant, even though I was really big, uh, and I had the worst pregnancy known to mankind. I think it was awful, and everybody told me, "Oh, so wonderful, you're pregnant. Just really enjoy this time." And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? This is the worst thing I've ever been through. I was bloated and got, so yeah, sleep apnea, my thumbs, like I had some sort of chronic infection here. So I had like braces or whatever you call it on your hand, both hands. And I had what else? Yeah, I couldn't breathe because one part was that, but he was really high up, so it pushed my lungs. So I was sitting in a chair like it's just hyperventilating all the time. Um, my resting pulse was like 120, which is really, really high. Um, yeah, and the sleep apnea, I couldn't breathe, so I was really abusing nose spray. And the doctor told me it's fine. We'll fix it once he's out, my son. And I'm sorry if this is TMI, but I had constipation, like it was a cement brick in my stomach, and I had the worst hemorrhoids ever. So I actually had to go to the hospital, and they wanted to do a surgery, but since I was like 8 months pregnant or something, they couldn't because they can't put you to sleep, stuff like that. So I got drugs. Uh, yeah. But anyway, so they got my boy out by C-section, and all is good, sort of. I was still really overweight. I lost some with breastfeeding. I did it for like 3 months. So I lost like, first I lost 10 kilos, like just in a day when they took him out. So I was 110 kilos when we went into surgery, and I was 100 when I got out. So he was a big boy, really big boy. And he was even like 1.5 week early. And he was still, I think, over 5 kilos, just him. Yeah, he was huge. And I was huge. Everything was huge. And anyway, during all of this time, I've had problem many years with hypo what is it, hypoglycemia, when you get low blood sugar. Yeah. So when I work in the casino when I was younger, and I had, if I didn't if I didn't have anyone to give me a break, so I could go up and have one of my many colas or coffees or something, just something. I started, blacking out. So a few times they had to ask the waitress to bring me a sugar cube just so I could get something because I was, blacking out. Anyway, this persisted, but when you're not locked in anywhere, like as I was at my table or whatever it was, I could always put something in my mouth without a problem. So I didn't really have that issue. But I always made sure to have candy in my jacket pocket or in my trousers or in my purse or whatever. And so one day, I think this must have been 2020. So my son was, I think, 1.5 years old, something like that. I was driving like 80 kilometers an hour. So I was going from my sister's stable and going home to have lunch. And I had forgotten the candy this day. And in the middle of the road, I was driving. I had my son, on the back, I started to feel this, when you start to black out, and it was just getting darker and darker. And thankfully, I I knew what it was, so I could put on the warning blinkers and just drive to the side and let it just no go over, just yeah, rectify itself. But that really scared me, like really, really. I could have killed myself and my son, you know, the light of my life. So I was really scared, and I knew I was a sugar addict. I hadn't really connected this with the insulin. I had no idea about I heard about insulin because I've heard of diabetes, but I hadn't really connected the dots yet. So I decided that day that this is it. I'm going to stop with all the sugar, and so I did, and I started just googling how to stop eating sugar. No, for instance, or something like that, and um, started with like low carb, and then I found, I don't know how, but because I don't remember, but I found this word keto, and I was like, this is strange. And so I said, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then I think like the same day or the day after, something like that, I went to my grocery store, and in the book section I actually saw a book like a guide to keto or something like that with a lot of recipes. So I thought, why not? Yeah, it wasn't that expensive, so I'll just buy it and read it. And I did. And this is where my rabbit hole starts, because I can't just do a little bit. I just go deep diving into. So I've indoctrinated myself. Um, yeah, I forgot to say, just when my son was born, I was also friends. This was also another one of my vegan slash vegetarian episodes. So I think maybe that had just made the problem worse before I got my blackout. Because I had a friend, another mom, with a baby the same age, and really nice lady, but she was vegetarian slash vegan. I know she ate eggs because she had chickens, but that was the only thing. So sounds like, yeah, but she looks healthy, and she was skinny and really, nice person. I said, yeah, I also want to be skinny, nice person. So I tried that, but I think maybe I don't want to say that that was the thing, but maybe that was like the straw that broke the camel's back or something. But anyway, so I started this keto thing, and the more I read, the more I realized, this stuff about insulin and blah blah blah, the thing we all know. And since actually weight loss has never been the main goal for me, my goal has been not to kill myself and my son in the car by getting a blackout, or also not get one of many issues that people in my family have, that I now realize are insulin resistance. For instance, dementia, and my grandma, she's got Alzheimer's and um, coronary heart issues with all high blood pressure. We have a lot of diabetes in both sides of my family. So double whammy, yay. And what else? Parkinson is another one we have in in one part of the family had. A great uncle of mine who had that. And so this has always been my goal. Health has been my goal, not to go down that really slippery slope of bad health. So, but I noticed like after I think 8 weeks or something on keto that my energy levels were way up. So I actually started to exercise. I wanted to exercise, so I did that. I started that. So I started weight training as well, and I can really see. I mean, I have pictures. I won't show them because I really hate them. But I can see pictures that I look at. Well, sometimes when you put yourself down and just like, oh my God, I'm so bad, I can't lift this. And I look at those old pictures. It's like, okay, but I couldn't even do like one sit up 6 years ago. Partly because my abs were completely wrecked after this huge monstrous baby. Yeah. So I got a PT who helped me deal with that. So that's amazing now. Thank you. And so yeah, so I started losing weight after about 8 weeks. So I went from, I think, like yeah, the shaking and all the that stuff just went away, and I had my rosacea got better, not good, but better, and the energy levels got much better. The inflammation uh, was mostly gone. I still had some issues with um, what's it called? Like when you pick up small stuff, or right, like
Like your dexterity?
yes, thank you, dexterity in my fingers. So I had to relearn to do that. So I started, beating and stuff like that, and that also went out of hand. So now that's what I do. But yeah, anyway, so I lost, I think, 23 kilograms in 4 months, something like that. Yeah, I just shedded all the weight. So I went to down to, I think, after like 6 months total of from that I started keto till after 6 months I went down 23 kilograms to 78 kilograms instead of 103 or something like that, or 100. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, that was really great. But then after, you know, Christmas, and you start, you have people around you say, yeah, just this once you can have, have a glass of wine, because I was really strict, like the first 6 months of keto. I was really, really strict. No wine, no alcohol, no nothing at all. Um, but then you say, yeah, but I mean, I've been so good. I can have like, I can have a glass of wine. I can have like, okay, it's someone's birthday. You can have a piece of cake, or you can have, the deal. Everybody who's tried knows the deal. Yeah, because I think everyone's been here. No one has ever been perfect. If you have, congratulations. Uh, yeah, I mean, I wish I was you. But so it started, and I was like, no, 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 back up. So it's been this, like a roller coaster of, you know, breaking. And I can actually see, because I have one of these scales that check your like body fat and water and everything. So I can actually see on the diagrams. I said, okay, here comes Christmas. We're going up around New Year's. So boop, and then New Year, 1st of January. No, 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 no. I have to so again. And here comes, spring, and you want to, sit outside, have a glass of rosé and stuff. And so here it comes. And then you go up again. It's like, no, 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 no. And I go down again. So it looks like an M. So I can actually see where my vacations have been. I can see where. So I have to be really strict. And yeah. So anyway, so this New Year's, I was like, okay, after this Christmas and everything, because I had gained back like 10 kilograms again. Um, yeah, and also, yeah, while I was on this keto diet, and when I lost a lot of weight, I also lost a lot of hair. A lot. Yeah, I did. But I had also lost a lot of hair when after I had my son, like 4 months after. I mean, that's just normal because it's fluctuations and hormones and stuff. But I looked like, have you seen Robin Hood? You know, the one with Kevin Costner? Is that what they have?
Yeah.
A witch, they have a witch, right?
Uh,
But yeah, I looked like her, just like standing up everywhere, and just like, I had like 5 hairs or something. I look awful. Uh, and my hair has really always been a pride, because I will have long hair and have a big hair, curly, usually. So that was really off-putting in a way from, but at the same time I know this can happen, because I got really scared. It's like, oh my god, I'm ruining my health with keto. Oh, so I started googling and said, no, 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 this is normal. Whenever you lose weight fast, this is what's going to happen probably. um yeah, so getting back to carnivore. So this New Year's, so just so people knew, I told my friends, yeah, so after New Year's, I think I actually said this on New Year's Eve. Tomorrow, I'm starting my new life. never me eat, no, not never, but I will stop eating vegetables or plants at all. So, or I'll try anyway. And I did. I did for a while and I did really good. And then we, went to spa and we had some drinks and said, I can have one chip. So, but usually, so I have been like carnivore since 1st of January this year. But I have been, I don't think I was there mentally to actually do it 100% full on. So I had my dips and I had, fluctuated in weight and mood and all these autoimmune stuff with eczema and rosacea and stuff. But I've tried to be kind of, well, kind of good anyway. So, but anyway, at the end, like now I've been strict now for I think 56 days. So it's not, I'm still a baby carnivore. But now I think you have to come to that mental place where you're like, yeah, now this is the time. I'm ready now. And I think you have to do that with all sorts of stuff. And whenever you're doing something, if you're going to start exercising or whatever, you have to be ready mentally, not just, well, maybe emotionally more because I was maybe cognitively ready, but I wasn't emotionally ready. Same because I still drink coffee, so I'm not emotionally ready to give that up quite yet. I'm going to. That's my goal. I have a few goals with this. I mean, so I think I'm working towards uh, the lion diet, at least to see, because I'm curious to see what it will do.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in the 56 days or during this year when you've been on that kind of on and off,
Yeah.
have you noticed things improve? Like things
What
like eczema or
honestly,
something like that?
yeah, I think I most of the stuff I noticed when, because we went to Greece for 2 weeks in May, so I started eating bread and I had a few beers, stuff like that. I noticed how much worse I got when I did that because I got started snoring more, had worse sleep, and my rosacea and the eczema in my scalp came back. That was really bad because I didn't bring I have this thing medicine I put in my scalp I got from the doctors a couple of years ago. So I have that just in case it get really bad, but I didn't bring it that time. So it was really awful that part of the trip. Um, but I've noticed like a difference in these. Was it like 5 weeks, 6 weeks or something? A few things that actually became much better. Even though I mean, compared to before keto and after keto, there's a humongous, I mean, really big difference in my life. Not as noticeable from keto to carnivore, especially when I have been cheating from time to time. But I have noticed that my sleep, all of a sudden, I can sleep. Except for, ironically enough, not tonight because I was so nervous. So I've been thinking about this. But yeah, all of a sudden I can sleep. I sleep through the night because I've had some real serious issues, both with going to sleep, not as much going to sleep, but staying asleep. So, and the problem is, and we have a son, and he wakes up in the middle of the night, and he, goes into our bed or something, and we have two dogs who are like, as soon as leaf outside is rattling in the wrong way. It's like "Wap, wap, 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 wap." So yeah. So as soon as something wakes me up, I'm awake. So that could have been like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, doesn't matter, 5 hours. If you wake me up, I'm awake. Yeah. So that has been a real issue with both mood and also when you're tired, you get the munchies. You just want to eat everything you see, whether that's usually not the healthy stuff. Usually it's all the bad stuff. You want that in you. Give it to me. Yeah. So yeah. So the sleep and my rosacea is much better. Still not perfect, but I'm still in in the beginning of my actually my serious journey. I also have when I was pregnant for the last like 2.5 months, something like that. I was bedridden, sort of. And since my belly was so big, I had to lie on my side. So I just shifted left, right, left, right. But that got me like some sort of pain in my hips. So when I was sleeping on my side, I could go like 10, 15 minutes without changing positions. It was really, it felt like I had like a big bruise on my hip that went into the bone. I don't know what it was, but that's gone. So I don't have that anymore. So now I can sleep on my side, and that went away after like, I mean, no, don't know, 2 weeks or something. I noticed I have been sleeping on my side without, having to shift. I also have an old, I wouldn't say maybe an injury, but since I was working in the casino, I was working like leaning like this a lot, leaning, over a table. So I have had a lot of issues with my shoulder. And it was talking about having a surgery, but since I don't like doctors, I didn't go back. I said, no, 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 I'm going to fix this myself. I'm going to work out. That's actually better. I still have to, sometimes I say, click, have to put it back in its socket. But I do work out a lot nowadays. Yeah, I do. And I have the energy to do it and I want to do it. So, and also to motivate myself, so I'm a volunteer at a non-profit gym where so I'm leading group workouts nowadays. So to go from like 6 years ago I couldn't do hardly do a sit up to now I'm leading it. Just so I have for kids and I have for adults as well. So I work out like 4 or 5, sometimes 6 times a week. So it's a mix between cardio and mostly calisthenics, but I'm trying to get down to the gym as well to lift some heavy stuff and then put it down again many times.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing, and just that you want to do it. So with that, I have noticed that I don't get as sore afterwards anymore. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why, because I heard Anthony Chafee. Yeah, because that's how I found Carnivore to get back on track. Actually, um, I mean, the usual suspects, but Anthony Chafee he's one of my favorites. Really, he has a nice, calm voice, and I think he has a good balance between the scientific and personal stories. So I listened to him as soon as and your channel, of course. One of my favorites. Yeah, I think a lot of people say that. I wouldn't have found you otherwise. But I really like hearing people's stories. But he said, I know he talks about it a lot. Just that when he eats a clean diet and no coffee and no nothing, he doesn't have any aches after a workout. So I was like, I really was no. Maybe it's just like I don't think he's lying, but I don't know it. I don't know. Will this work for me? Because I've always been sore. Like I had one workout session, even my own, even the one I lead. I do a lot of squats in this thing, and usually the day after, at least I had some issues in the morning getting up from the bed because I was so sore. I don't have that now. So I worked out this. So actually, it was this week I noticed because I worked out um, Monday this week only Monday, Wednesday, uh, Friday, and Saturday. So it's Sunday today. So worked out, and I don't feel a thing. I mean, I get tired when I'm there, and I can feel like, oh, this is hard, this is heavy, or you know. But as soon as I get out, as soon as I get home, it's gone. So, and
Yeah.
I still have coffee.
So you still get that feeling like, "Okay, I'm done with this now," but when you
Yeah,
get home, there's no
yeah.
pain.
No, it's not pain. I can walk the day after, and even if it's like my weak spots, because we all have them, I don't. I can feel I have done the job, and I feel it for maybe a couple of hours. But the day after, I'm good to go again. It's no issue at all.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so, what strikes me about your story is that, you've had your ups and downs over this year, but you're in a situation now where you are in control of your destiny.
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I am. And
where we're not when we're just relying on the
no,
doctor telling us, "Take this pill or do this
no.
surgery."
Yeah, because I don't like being reliant to stuff or you know, like addicted. So I've always, you know, taken pride in when I did smoke. I mean, that was stupid, but I wasn't one of these people that had to have like I always have to have my morning cigarette. For me, it's always situational. So I could go, you know, like one day I smoked 2 packs. No, usually when I was on the ship because it was so boring during the day, I didn't do anything. So I usually just watch movies, drink Coca-Cola, and smoke. Um, but for my poor body, I feel sorry for it. Been abusing it for many years, but when I got home, or I was in a different situation, I didn't feel I needed it at all until my phone rang, and I was like, "Hello, oh my god, I need a cigarette." And it's the same with usually with everything. So I've never been like maybe physically addicted, only mentally, always. And I know this, and I always have to cut down. So that's what I've done. It's okay to fall back because it took me like, I don't know, 5 years to stop smoking. So I cut down, cut down, cut down. And one day I just realized I don't even when I have a glass of wine, I don't want the cigarette because it's disgusting. And I hate it. I will never ever do that again. But it took me a while, and I that's me. That's who I am. I just need to do it in increments, really, really slow, and I have to be mentally prepared for it. So, so the idea of being stuck with a drug for the rest of my life is no, no, thank you. I don't want that, and that's also me because I don't want to be one of those people with high blood pressure that I'm, you know, reliant on a medicine to survive. Because I want to be in control of my life at all points, and I think that's maybe because I talked to some people about this. I've been trying to spread the word and uh, help because you know that's as many people say that's the hardest part about carnivore, I think, or about low carb, at least, that you see so many positive changes and still people say, yeah, that's good for you, but it won't work for me. I know I've heard so many people on your podcast, you know, saying this, that try to, oh no, for instance, yeah, with high blood pressure, or no, 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 it's just genetics, you can't do anything about it, you can't, there's nothing you can do. That's just how it is. That's my destiny, something like that. And I don't really buy that at all. I don't. I think you can do. I mean, of course, some stuff you can't. Maybe you can't help your predisposition, but you can how you can affect how it expresses itself, or maybe even if it does, how severe it will get. I think. I mean, that's my belief. And I think every day I'm more and more convinced. So but I've noticed when you speak to people that, so for instance, for me, knowing this information is a power, like a power tool. It gives me the power of my own destiny, of my own body, of my health. I've had this discussion, and I think everyone has, you know, like, oh, you just don't do it, you have to work out a lot. Because I mean, honestly, I used to, when I worked out a lot before as well, I was working out like 2 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. When I was really young then, but still I didn't lose any weight. Maybe I built some muscle, but then nothing happened. I felt anyway. My clothes didn't change size, so it wasn't that I was building muscle and losing fat, but it just didn't work at all because it was something else in the background, just um, ruining it for me.
Yeah. On the topic of eating,
Yeah.
how is your diet now? Like, what are you
Now,
eating 2 meals a day or?
it depends because I've also noticed, because I've done a lot of fasting. Yeah, because I found Jason Fung, as most people do. So I tried that because, yeah, actually, sorry, but I'm just going back a little bit. I heard also one of these moms. She was a diabetic nurse, and so she started fasting to lose weight, and I thought she was completely bonkers. Honestly, I was like, yeah, she's going to kill herself. This is. I mean, this is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. What do you mean not eating? This is insanity. Insanity, I tell you. Oh my God. And so, anyways, here I am. So I fasted a lot, but I've noticed that according to my hormonal cycle, I get more or less hungry different weeks. So I actually listened to Anthony Chafee again. That I listen to my body. So when I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm not hungry, I don't eat. So I don't do like fasts that I force myself, with one caveat, and that is in the mornings when I'm going to the gym, because I always work out in the morning. So that's the only time I don't, because if I eat breakfast before going to the gym, I risk, you know, comes up again, and I don't want to do that to anyone, not myself and not the people around me. So I usually fast in the morning, and then I eat a big lunch, and then we have dinner together as a family every day about 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock, at the absolute latest 5:30. um, and we usually have some sort of meat. I eat a lot of different stuff, but I've noticed now, the longer I go, the less I actually like spices. I still use some spices, but not a lot, and not as I used to. But I've started to, it's something tastes off. I can't really put my finger on what it is, but something tastes off when I just, I just do as I usually do, and uh, same old spices, same old, mix, and still it doesn't taste as good. But I eat a lot of butter, and I eat a lot. We have a really good butcher close by, so I go there. I buy a lot of meat, and I a lot of mince. So yeah, so because it's really important for me that the meat is of good quality, so I'd rather pay a little bit extra for that. And I know the cows that I eat is local, and I think my sister um, did a calculation about this, that if for some reason the cow lives on, you know, the far end of this area where they source their cows from, it would be a maximum of, I think it was 40 minutes in a trailer to get to the spot. Yeah, so it's really local. And in Sweden, most cows have just grass fed. I think looked at, I think like 80% grass, and then maybe in the winter time, because some years we've had um, a really bad season, we don't get as much hay, so it's been an issue. So maybe get grains then, but most of the time it's grass fed, and they go outside, and for me that's really important, because I want to eat happy cows. Well, there was, until it was, because I think the animals should have a long happy life, or as long as possible, and then just bam, it's over and they're gone. Yeah, because I'm really against cruelty against animals, but so I never kill animals unless I'm going to eat it. So all the spiders get to live in my house.
Right.
Yeah.
So does that mean the rest of the family are also eating a
No,
carnivorous diet?
no, no, they aren't. But I'm trying to not be dogmatic about it, because sometimes it's really hard. I just have to stay there. I'm quite condescending sometimes, and sometimes, yeah, I'm trying not to be, but at the same time, it's also like a self hypnosis that, oh no, no, don't do that, don't do that. So I think it comes out the wrong way. I wish it didn't, but it does sometimes. My attitude shines through, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so usually I make, like, for instance, bolognese, say, because my family loves that. So I just put some of the mince on the side and make it for me with, without a lot of stuff, and I don't eat the pasta, or maybe I don't eat at all with dinner. But I'm trying to encourage our son, and talk about food, and because he's allowed to eat the the junk as well. Just we have this thing in Sweden where you only eat candy on Saturdays. I mean, that's the rule. Yeah, only Saturday. So we call it like Saturday candy. So on Saturdays he's allowed to have some candy, not too much, but a little bit. and he's allowed to. So we have these exceptions, like when it's a party or birthday party or something like that, Christmas. We have a few holidays where on the day you're allowed to have it, but it's not like an everyday thing. You're not allowed to eat ice cream or sugar every day. And I would try to talk to him about, yeah, if you want to, grow up big and strong, you need meat and you need fat, and that's the best things for you. And he's like, yeah, yeah, it's really, I mean, this bread, it's not that good for you, but I can have some. And I was like, yeah, yes, of course, because I don't want him to have like issues with food. And I also don't want him to be like the social pariah, where he's like the strange kid who's not allowed to eat anything. I don't want to be like the carnivore version of an extreme vegan.
Right. But it's also nice that he's gonna grow up and not feel squeamish about eating the fat on his meat. Like
No, I hope
yes,
not. Yeah.
we were told as kids, "Don't have any fat, cut the
Oh,
fat off," but
yeah. And I remember this, like uh, light milk. There's more like white water. It looks awful. It tastes even worse. So I remember we had that with margarine and uh, have to have popcorn and yeah, without the fat, and everything was without fat. But of course you can have sugar. Sugar's fine. Sugar's fine. Yeah, no problem. So, but my husband, he's not carnivore. He's not keto, but I think he's like trying to cut down a little bit. But he loves sandwiches. So we have that. Yeah, he does, and cheese. So we talked about it just yesterday, about being cheese being addictive. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm probably a cheeseaholic. I know." So it's quite funny, but yeah, it's
yeah, I
good.
spoke to someone recently, you might be able
Yeah,
to get around the sandwich thing by telling your husband, you can make a sandwich out of butter and put 2 slabs of cheese and bread on either side of it, and
yeah, but he loves the bread as well, and that's my Achilles heel as well. Bread, fresh like sourdough or something. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, so that's what it. But he usually said, no, 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 I can have some carnivore. So are we going to eat carnivore today? And he's like, yeah, 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 we can do that. So we have like ribs because everyone loves ribs. So we have that. That's okay. And we still have some. I have some veggies in the fridge now because I had some friends over yesterday, and I was going to make them a salad, and then I talked about carnivores. Actually, one of my friends just like, oh, so you say, oh well, okay, so now I'm carnivore as well. Just yesterday, and I was like, okay. Uh, well, yeah, you can have from my because I made lasagna for everyone, so I made one for me with just cheese. I was going to make one of these carnivore pasta versions with eggs and stuff, but I didn't really have the time, so I just put some cheese in instead. Because it was a party, you can have some extra cheese. And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, no, I have yours." And I was like, "Okay." So do we eat eggs? Yeah, yeah, we can eat eggs. Yeah, good, because I like eggs. It's like, do we do we drink coffee? So she was instantly like in the way. Do we do this as carnivores? So but okay,
so she's effectively started from yesterday.
yeah, she started from yesterday. I don't know if she will keep it up, but it was so funny because all of a sudden in the middle of the dinner, it's like, no, I'm carnivore now. So I was like, okay, but yeah, can I have coffee? And I was like, I mean, that's up to you if you want coffee or not. I mean, everything is up to you how strict you want to be and how it affects you. But she's like, yeah, because I have to have my coffee. I love meat and I love butter and I love eggs, but I want some chocolate. And I was like, oh yeah, that's still up to you if you can tolerate it and if you want, you do you, whatever you want. But I mean, this is what I do. So I sent her a lot of links to different YouTube yours and like Anthony Chafee and a couple of others different. Uh, so I hope she does it.
Yeah, I hope she
Actually,
gives it
yeah,
a go.
I know.
I hope she
Yeah,
at least gives it 30 days to see.
yeah, because that's what yeah, I know from watching a lot of your videos. I know that's one of the questions you usually have about if someone asks you. So that's usually what I say. Like at least, I mean, a month. You can do a month. What's that? Like in the big scheme of things. A month is it's nothing. You can live of nothing or Coca-Cola for a month. You won't die. You probably won't feel that good, but you won't die. You can always go back to whatever you did. If it doesn't work for you, just go back. It's not like you chopping off an arm to see what it's like. It's just food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're gonna be good going forwards now, apart from the odd holiday thing?
Yeah, I think so. Because but this is also, I think, at the time being, because my goal is, getting to a lion diet, because I want to try it, at least give it a go, but I'm not mentally there just yet. And I still have my 90 days to go, because I thought set on the 13th of December. I don't know if I'm going to have a cheat day, because me and my sister are going to Stockholm for a concert with one of my favorite bands. So maybe I'll have a glass of wine. Maybe. I don't know. Right now, I don't feel like it. I don't want it. I don't see why I would want it, but never say never. But that's the date I'm going to absolutely no alcohol at all, or no nothing until that date. And then I don't know. But when I think about it, I don't want it. I don't crave it. Even if I go through the bread section, it's like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It's not that it smells bad, because it doesn't. I mean, it smells nice, but that's also yeah, it smells nice. I mean, the flowers outside in summer smells nice. I don't want to eat them just because they smell nice. Uh,
Right? I think with those things as well, the further you get away from them, like the longer you
yeah,
are on carnivore, the further you get away from them, the more the emotional connection is broken, and that
yeah,
situational thing that we
yeah,
talked about before gets broken as well.
yeah. And I think that's the difference between what I've felt just this short time with actually going strict, because it was. I mean, it was hard in the beginning, just not mentally not having a salad, or not having anything, no sweetness, no nothing. uh, but the difference as I see it between keto and carnivore, as I see it, yeah, is that I don't do the cheat stuff. I don't do, like, because I used to make like almond cookies, amazing. But my taste buds and my stomach doesn't really agree on how good they were, so I stopped with that. But I think all of these like keto treats, and I know a lot of people has been talking about. For me, it doesn't work. Maybe it does for some people that they go keto with all these treats, and it's fine for however long time it is, and it's fine. But for me, it's triggers, and same with yeah, the sugar-free um, drinks like Pepsi Max or something, whatever. Because I've tried that, and it just makes the cravings come back, and like reminding me how good it tastes to eat this and that and cookies and whatever, and all of a sudden I'm there with it, with a bag of chips, I'm stuffing my face and I can't stop. This
Yeah.
happens in Greece, because all of a sudden I was like, no, no, no. When we came to Greece, I said, yeah, okay, they have a lot of meat, a really great meat, and amazing food. I mean, it's amazing cuisine. But I started with the meat, started with taking it easy, and then I found myself like 1.5 weeks in, because I did it in increments, a teeny tiny bit, like stuffing my face with crisps or chips or whatever you want to call them, and I had some candy, and all of a sudden I found myself in Pizza Hut eating pizza on the in the airport, and I was like, "What happened? I don't know. I don't know when it happened. I don't know how it happened. All of a sudden, I was just, yeah, I was stuffing my face, and I had gained a lot of weight, and I felt awful." And that's again one of these spikes, and oops, there it goes. We have to go down again. So yeah. So I think that's the one of the biggest differences. All of these treats, because you're allowed quite a lot actually, even though normal people say it's really restrictive with a low carb keto diet. Um, but I think it's really free. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you can eat all of these stuff, and but it will trigger. Yeah, I
I,
think.
I think, especially carnivore, I think it's like as much as people will say, "Oh, it's very restrictive," I
Mm,
think it's freeing because
yeah.
you're no longer tied to the refrigerator. You know, you're no longer
Oh,
looking at the refrigerator like it's
no,
a
and it's so empty.
boyfriend or girlfriend that dumped you in high school. You
Yeah,
know, it's like, oh, I'm done.
yeah. Yeah, I think one of the bad parts is because I'm the one who cooks in our family. Because I've always loved cooking, so it's naturally been that I'm the cook. But I forget that you have to eat. So all of a sudden, my family goes, "What's for dinner today?" And I said, "Dinner? Oh, I forgot. Well, I think we might have something in the freezer. I'll just whip it up quick. Oh, sorry. Um, I'll just make something quick. Just please hold on. Don't die." Uh, yeah, because it really is like, "Ah, I need food. I need it now. I'm so hungry," and I forget. So yeah, I forget when
Yeah.
people get hungry.
Yeah, I've done that before when my
Yeah,
daughter's been on school holidays, you
yeah.
know, and it's lunchtime, like it's late afternoon, and I'm like, "You didn't eat lunch."
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Sometimes I say, "Why are you so cranky?" It's like, "But dinner time." And I was like, "Oh, I forgot. Darn. Sorry. I'll do better." So now I'm trying to make like a big batch, so they always have leftovers. Personally, I prefer to make my meat, on the spot. So I usually have like a couple of like ribeyes or something in the fridge, salted. Also, Anthony Chafee, thank you very much. Just salt it for a few days and let it dry up, and just fry it in butter. Maybe I do some homemade hollandaise sauce, and I love to pair it with shrimp for some reason. So I do the meat, hollandaise, and some shrimp. Or sometimes it's like, I don't know if I'm hungry, and I think that, okay, do I want an egg? If I do, yeah, then I'm hungry. Otherwise, I'm probably just thirsty or something. Because I still think it's quite hard to. I mean, I try to listen to my body, but I still think it's quite hard to distinct from if I'm thirsty. Am I tired? So I just want something, or am I actually hungry? So I do the egg test. Do I want boiled egg? If yes, then I'm hungry. If no, then I can just try with some water. I'm probably not hungry.
yeah, that's a good test. Um, so Lisa, if people want to reach out to you, do you have any social media or any way of getting in
Uh,
contact?
yeah, I don't really do social media because I really don't like exposing myself on the interweb. But I do have an email. I can send it to you. You can put it in the description if someone wants to email me. I have like a spare one because I don't like using my full name and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
this is a big thing, me being
yeah,
here. But yeah.
no
So,
problem.
yeah, so I think that's about it. So if they, you know, people, because the reason why I actually wanted to do this is because I've been feeling quite alone in my journey um, with this because I don't know anyone at all. It's just me, and I find the communities, or actually the communities I found, are quite dogmatic, and like, and I don't like that. People shame you for using spices, or oh, you can't have dairy and stuff like that. So, but if someone feels like reaching out and want to just talk about, the issues I've talked about, just send me an email. I do have it. I do have it up all the time, so I will see the email. So it's not like a forgotten old email. It's just not my main one.
No worries. I'll link to your email in the show
Yeah.
notes. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on and sharing
Thank you
your
for having me, and thank you for having this channel. I think it does make an impact